Hello and welcome to the Binge Thinker for another week. My name is Jamil Raymond. It's an absolute pleasure to have you here, as always, on this very special ASMR version of the Binge Thinker. Just kidding. Having a bit of fun, folks. Trying to keep it light-hearted, trying to enjoy life. Remember that it is but a joke. Ha ha ha! How good. How funny the universe is. Where am I going with this accent? I'm not sure. Actually, speaking of bad accents, well, not bad accents, I watched Frasier, the great TV show in the 90s, Frasier. This is how I knew I was an adult, like an early adult nerd, is that I appreciated Frasier at like 7 years old. Right? Is that like, you know, I really loved the 90s sitcoms, Seinfeld, Frasier. I liked Friends back in the day, but now I realize how corny and tacky it is, and I'm like, blech. But yeah, just enjoying like the subtle humor of Frasier. And like, you know, it was posh and different, and yes, a nice Sangiovese, and yes, I'm listening, whatever he used to fucking say. Outside, actually, fun fact, now we're speaking, let me just talk about, okay, so they rebooted Frasier for some reason. I presume that the guy that runs it, hang on, let me find out what's his name, Frasier. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember what his fucking name is. Kelsey Grammer. So they've rebooted a revival spin-off. I saw it on the plane back from Mexico City. You saw 4 episodes that was on the plane, and they were average at best. It's like, why? Why was this necessary? Like, isn't Kelsey Grammer doing enough? Like, hasn't he made enough money? Hasn't he just like fucking, he's 70 years old, he's 69, for fuck's sake. So, pointless. Like, is that how bad, like, legacy TV has become? But what's even funnier is you know Kelsey Grammer, Frasier, as this mild-mannered intellectual, bit of a hornbag. On Frasier. But Kelsey Grammer, in real life, fucking wild dude. Wild dude. I remember, I'm just reading his Wikipedia because I remember seeing it a while ago and being like, what the fuck is up with him? So, again, Kelsey Grammer, you know, so posh, so modern, staunch Republican. Like I don't think he's a redneck. Where he's born in the Virgin Islands. What the fuck, dude? And raised in Jersey. Oh shit. His dad. Oh my god. Wow. Listen to this. I forgot this part. So Kelsey Grammer. His dad died of cancer when he was 12 years old. Grandfather died of cancer. In 1968, Kelsey Grammer's dad was murdered in St. Thomas during a wave of racial violence after the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. Holy shit. In 1975, his sister was kidnapped, raped, and murdered in Colorado Springs. And in 1980, his 2 teenage half-brothers died in a scuba diving accident. What the fuck, dude? Like, what a life. This is like some Keanu Reeves shit. No wonder he's goddamn cooked. And he's been to Juilliard to sing and perform on stage. He was a theatre actor. God, I mean, imagine all the pain that he could have channeled back in the day by all of that pain he could channel from his family life. Brutal. And then Kelsey Grammer originally became famous on Cheers, that old TV show Cheers. I don't know if you guys remember it or not. I'm not sure what the demographic of the good listeners of the Binge Thinker are, but Cheers was around like early to mid 80s. And Frasier Crane is actually a spin-off character from Cheers, if you didn't know that. And then, a decade later, he became Frasier and got the spin-off in 93 to 2004. Good on him. But I'm just trying to and he's done some various acting gigs. Now, here is his personal life. Grammer has been married 4 times, has 7 kids and 1 grandchild. And And his first marriage was from 1982 to 1990, but they were basically, they were separated for the last 6 years of that period. So he was what? Basically, he was in the 8-year marriage that they had. He was only around for 2 of them, and then that's it. That's crazy. And then he had a second marriage that lasted a year. Whoa. When his second wife was 3 months pregnant, he annulled the marriage and evicted her from his home. Oof. And then the pregnancy ended in a miscarriage. Jesus Christ. 1994, he meets a 28-year-old. And they announced their engagement, and they talk about Kelsey Grammer having a substance abuse problem. Jesus Christ, Kelsey Grammer on the booger sugar. This is making a lot more sense. And then, so that was 94. They were getting engaged. 97, he married a dancer and model and had a daughter in 2001 and a son in 2004, both born to a surrogate mother. Jesus Christ. And then during that time, Kelsey Grammer's house was featured in like 5 different like, what's it, like InStyle and Architectural Digest. So his house is like, must have been baller as fuck, just like him. And then, yeah, just killing it. Then he had, wow, Jesus Christ. Man, crazy. And then, yes, he's a staunch Republican, low taxes, small government, pro-life, he's anti-climate change. He admires Vladimir Putin, supports Brexit. God damn. It's so crazy. And yes, his health problems, drink driving and cocaine possession. Man, went to the Betty Ford clinic. Jesus Christ. He had a heart attack in 2008. Probably from the booger sugar, if anything. Man, this man knows how to live. Not bad for the cheery psychiatrist that's going, hello, Seattle, I'm listening. Hello, Seattle, I'm gurning. I have no serotonin left. I have been trying to jerk off this high for hours now and nothing is coming out. Nothing! Oh, there's also, if one of the funniest videos on the internet, you have to look this up, is look up Kelsey Grammer falls off stage. Google it. It's so funny because he's presenting at some award show and he's on a stage and he's like on a big theater stage, right? And he's walking and he just does one of those, he just misses a step off the edge of the stage and he just completely disappears. like in the good old days when someone used to fall into a trapdoor and they just go whoosh. I'm sure he got pretty badly hurt, but it's just so comical the way he just disappears. Like, see you later, Kels. Oh, man. Good times. Did not think the good doctor would be humoring me like this, but there you go. There you go. What's happening in life? Talked to you last week about the dip, the big dip in expectations. I've had this week, in the last week, I've come to grips with it. I've come to realize, hey, I had some poor expectations. I did not manage this business accordingly. There were hopes and dreams and they weren't grounded in reality. And now I just have to grind. And that's okay. That is totally okay because I still believe in what I'm doing. I just got to get the machine I just got to work the machine up to a point where it does its own work, right? Building the machine, just like AI, you got to train it for a little bit. You got to train the social systems and build them so that they operate smoothly and generate income for me. I'm very happy to announce that I've had another sale and I have gotten a verbal confirmation for a coaching client. So money is coming. Leads are generating. I've had meetings with potential customers. They are really hooked into what I'm doing. It's fine. We'll be fine, folks. We're gonna be all right. I still have to sell the car. Did not do that this week because the guy that made the offer on my car has gone AWOL, so I'm gonna fucking kick him up the bum tomorrow. And yeah, I'm just gonna keep building and keep pushing. But I've had a revelation, a fresh update, fresh downloads from the universe. Because one of the things what happened on, was it Thursday or Friday? I had a fantastic meeting with a customer, again, an early in career tech seller, interested in what I'm doing. He reached out, curious to know. He wanted to know what I'm about. And basically, I gave him the spiel, man. I gave him the spiel about what I'm trying to do, the problem I'm trying to solve, the lack of fundamental education in the technology sales industry. It's not there. I'm going to fill that gap. And talked about the vision for what Tech Sales Academy is going to be. It's going to be an education platform, a community, and he loved it. He bought the fuck in. And he's like, look, I'll buy the course. It's either now or in a couple of weeks. I really like what you're doing here. Count me in. And I'm like, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. The message is resonating, right? And he told me straight up, it's like the thing that he likes the most is the community aspect, which is, I suspected, right? I suspected that because what I've realized is that in all the testimonials for the course from the first cohort of sellers that I taught, they all really liked the like-minded individuals. They liked the fact that they were surrounded by driven, ambitious, determined people. So it really got me thinking about how valuable the community aspect of what I'm doing is here. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to create the Tech Sales Academy community and focus on community development first. And what that'll do is that'll sit in Tech Sales Academy in my thing on school, but it will be free. And there'll be tons of free resources in there for people to get education and get help and how to get your first role. What should I expect in my first 12 months as first 1 to 2 years as a tech seller, as in introductory roles, and give the fundamentals as free information as well as some sales tips, right? And then from there, once they're ready to evolve into Tech Sales OS and take it to the next level, they're there. But the idea about the community is that it's power to the fucking people, is that I've got their attention, I give them heaps of resources, and they get to experience me and what I'm capable of offering for them at full scale. Right? They get a free taste of me showing up in the community every day, answering questions. I'll be there once a week to an open Q&A session to help with any inquiries, any questions they've got. It's a great way for me to mentor at scale and do what I love to do at scale, because the real challenge with what I'm doing is that I don't really have a space to do what I need to do, as in, like, school is there, but I think, my most valuable marketing tool is me just talking to customers and helping them out and solving their problems, because that's what I did best when I was in sales. I'm not going to bullshit you. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to give you my full help and support earnestly. I love to help people solve their problems, add value, and then there's a value exchange because people want to spend more time and energy with me and their money because I'm great value and I keep them safe, right? So it's all of the principles that I teach inside the course. They just need to spend more time with me. And that's what's happening right now, is that the more content that I put out, people are being exposed to me and my brand and being consistently helpful over and over again. And that is generating the leads, the engagements, and the questions and the outreach on LinkedIn. So it's all working. Right? The machine is working, but I can really crank it up by, instead of being on these rented audiences of social media, there's a thing called, there's a rented audience versus an owned audience, right? The rented audience is the people that are engaging you on social media, and their visibility and your visibility to them and vice versa is subject to what the algorithm does, right? Whether they like you on that particular day or not. An owned audience is when you take them off this social media platform into a world where you control the engagement, where you can just engage with them one-to-one, and then they're in that space of being nurtured until they want to sell or they leave. So originally, a lot of organizations, and they still do this with newsletters, you get a free newsletter and you have a look at the sales tips and the self-development stuff that I've got at the moment. I've really improved my newsletter over the last couple of weeks. I'm really enjoying writing them, but they're not as effective a sales tool as touching, feeling, experiencing what it's like to be supported and supported and nurtured by me and the content that I have to give these people, right? So that's the idea, is like, hey, you could look at the newsletter, you can look at the YouTube content, but I've put it all here in one place for you to enjoy. And then the fact that you are part of this supportive community where I would love to one day have events and do workshops and actually create a human experience with this community over time. That's what I want to foster, is the community from the ground up, and lead that community, because there is no place, there is no space for tech sellers to connect and grow and collaborate together. There is no fundamental education for technology sales. There is no institution or no alumni. You can't be like, yeah, I studied tech sales at, Harvard or Yale or whatever it is. Most universities don't even have sales courses anymore and sales units. I spoke to Joel, who is one of my mentors, and we'll talk about that in a sec, just last week. And he goes, mate, you were one of the last students to do selling and sales management, and I was fighting for it for years. And I'm like, this is fucking insane that universities do not teach you revenue generating skills, right? They do not teach you how to sell. It's all theory and bullshit and some applied practicalities for the medical sciences. Fair enough. But it's a bunch of, I'm paying $25,000 a thing that I can Google on ChatGPT, and it still gives me no functional outcome towards what I'm doing in my career ambitions, right? And if you are not a revenue generator, if you are not valuable and are able to show your value to an organization, you will be under scrutiny by AI, because AI is so much cheaper and easier to manage than a human being, right? That is the reality of it, is that if you are doing a logical, knowledge-focused job that doesn't have critical thinking or emotional intelligence, or the things that robots can't do very well, you are at risk. And if you are not generating revenue and they don't understand the ROI of your role, then, a software license and a bit of compute could take your job in the next decade. That's the fucking reality of it, right? So from there, I just got caught up in the tangent. I'm teaching skills, right? I'm teaching skills. I'm creating the community. It's a shame that we do not teach sales. We do not teach revenue generating skills in the world. And I might make that a content piece about my degree as well. Not my degree, my top student prize. Yeah, I should do that. Mental note, I'll put that down for later. So yeah, building the community, creating the space, right? The conscious space. This is what I actually like. What was it, Thursday night? I think it was Wednesday or Thursday night. I stayed up till late, and I was just absolutely taken. Again, these visions, this energy about building this community. And originally the idea was I would charge $99 a month for the community, like for all of my course, without a contract, right? So you would come in, you could just use the course, and then for $99 a month, and then when you're done, you leave. And I thought that was a good idea, but there's a lot of opportunities for people to just pilfer my stuff and fuck off. The revenue's inconsistent. What I think I'd rather do is just nurture from the ground up, do a once-off exchange, and then let people enjoy themselves. And I'll have a bunch of runs on the board in the next 3 to 6 months. I've already got people that are getting roles. I've already got people that are getting awards. I've already got people that are getting results out of the program. I just need to give this a bit more time to get more of them out. I've got 8-9 testimonials going out into the interwebs over the next 8 weeks with social proof that this shit is working. And then people will come to me. Right, and then I can put the price up, and it won't even fucking matter, because as long as I'm eating and paying my bills, the money that's all I give a fuck about right now. It's just, basically I've got to put this sales video out where I go, hey, you give me money, you learn a lot of tech sales, and you help me build. I will take your money to eat so I can teach you how to sell tech better and also build this fucking great community that I'm really excited by. So that's the goal now, is that I've sort of got to pivot a bit and build the community, which I will do the next fortnight because it's very important that I do so, and then just start accumulating people, because people are reaching out and they're, a lot of them are asking fundamental questions that I don't know how to serve right now, or I can't serve right now with the course. But if I could just put out a bunch of videos of fundamentals and things to expect in your first 12 months and all these sorts of things, blah, 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 some great fundamental questions about where the skills are in tech sales, et cetera, then that's, value. That's engagement. They got the community. I keep them talking. I give them resources, right? They get to taste the good life, bruh. I don't even know why I went all Spaniard on that. But yeah, so as you can tell, quite energized, excited by that, right? The spirit, it courses through me when I think about what I could create here. This is the way forward, and I'm excited by it. I've just got to settle in and finish, just do the work, my man, and just fucking do it, man. And that's fine. I'm settling in. I need to be more of a human being and look after myself and just get some cash into my back pocket so I can just keep building, because I'm pretty short on actual cash right now. But that's okay. I know I've got the car there to just flog off. It doesn't really matter. And again, at this rate, if I've already made 2 sales and then $2,500 a month, that's what, $4,500. That should come. That's already coming in over the next couple of weeks. That's good. That's fucking good, bruh. That's what I need. I get to 10 grand Australian and I'm covering my costs. So I'm almost 50% there. Almost. And it's going to take some time because one of those courses they're going to pay off in 3 months. But the revenue is coming. That's all that matters, right? Is just getting to cash flow. So that's me. That's where I'm currently at right now, is getting back up, dusting myself off. It was pretty tough last week. I was pretty drained, really up and down. I did catch up with a couple of my sounding boards, my mentors. I'll let you know about them right now. One of them is a great guy called Joel. And Joel is a great man. He's actually my old marketing lecturer. I'm sure he won't mind about talking about too much to the good people. He was my marketing lecturer at Swinburne, and he was an interesting dude. I could tell that he was different by the way he taught. He wasn't just a university lecturer that was just getting by. He was very passionate about learning, and he taught me something about ecosystem, technology ecosystem mapping, which I think is really important, and it was a piece of work that stuck in my mind, so much so that I put a version of the Tech Sales ecosystem inside Tech Sales Academy. I reached out to him probably about, a year or 2 ago. I was like, hey, Joel, reached out. I'm working on this thing. Would love to chat with you about it. And we just caught up. He actually lived in Footscray. He lives in Footscray as well. Lives just up the road. And we've just been catching up for coffees and chats over the last couple of years, on and off. But what I really respect about Joel, he's a bad motherfucker when it comes to education and learning, right? This guy has 6 degrees, right? Has a PhD, one of them, right? He most recently finished a degree in data science and builds his own scripts, his own fucking analytics scripts for data. And he's still consulting. He still consults to $100 million companies or more than. And what's even crazier about all that? This bad motherfucker is 80 years old and he's doing all of that shit. Man, he's not retired. He's consulting. You can't tell he looks 80. He looks worn, don't get me wrong, but he's a great fucking bloke and he's still sharp as a tack. And yeah, he's absolutely, man, the fact that he's still got that fire for learning and passion and he's keeping himself busy and he's consulting, and I'm sure he's making a fucking arm and a leg doing the consulting work. Money would never be a problem for him. But still at 80 to be going and learning. And he's like, yeah, I might even go a second PhD. And I'm like, what the fuck, bro? Here I am being a little fucking bitch about I launched my call offender. I thought I would be done working for the rest of my life. And this guy just comes in and goes, no, you idiot. He's still got the fire in him. He's still got the fire in him to grow and be a better person. And he's still curious and still passionate about learning. And that is fucking cool. And that's what I respect about him, right? Is that it is very hard for me to find mentors that I respect and want to learn from. And Joel is one of those people. When I found that out, that I'm like, wow, bad motherfucker in the best way possible. So yeah, caught up with him. He was my sounding board for some marketing stuff. He gave me an important shift in the way that I do my content. I was talking about myself too much, which is probably true because I am self-promoting rampantly. And now I've switched to helping. And then this is what I've done for others. This is what I'm doing for you. Instead of talking about me and what I've achieved. Wow, look what I've done. Ha, ha, ha. And I get it. Like, I thought I'd be prone to that, and I pretty much am prone to that. It's just a consistent in my life. So the fundamental shift is very useful as a piece of advice. So even the content I've just updated over the last couple of days, I've sort of shifted that tone. It's not about me. It's about to help you so you can do this, so you can create more, so you can sell more, right? And yeah, very important. It was good to catch up with him. And I really should have caught up with him earlier because, during monk mode, I was so fixated on this idea that once I put the course out, everyone would fucking love it and I wouldn't have to worry about money again. And I just build the course. And that's just not a reality, right? That is just me hoping and operating out of fear instead of reality and sort of going for that big swing that we talked about last week. And it is what it is. It's fine. So yeah, good to chat to him. Good to get some clarity. Good to, it is so important to have good mentors, man, and have people outside yourself that you respect and have been to places that you want to go to, right? I don't know if I want 6 PhDs. University's fucking a rort, and he understands that too. But just the fire and the passion to be still learning, still growing, still being curious after all that time. He's also a Buddhist himself and a very spiritual person. So we connected on that front as well. All right, good dude, very good dude. Appreciate him a lot. And then I caught up with another of my mentors, a guy called, I'll call him, his name's Anthony. I call him AC because that's his initials, and he calls me JR because of my initials. I don't even know how it came together. But I caught up with him on Friday night. Just to catch up, and I did want to talk to him and just, get a little advice from him. So Anthony, he was one of my customers at Telstra, and we ended up he's a very friendly, very personable guy. He's a great dude as well. Of course, I couldn't be around fuckwits. Another fantastic guy, very generous, very helpful, very personable. Wealthy as fuck. I don't know how much he's worth, but he owns a wealth management company. He's got multiple companies. He could do whatever the fuck he wants, but he's still here because he's got a family that he needs to look after here in Melbourne. But he's in his early to mid 50s. But again, also has that energy, that spark to him, wants to get out and about, loves to drink, loves to socialize, etc. So with him, Anthony's kind of like my rich dad. Right? Not to say that my real dad's poor. He's not poor. He's doing okay. Rich dad, poor dad. But he's a wealthy man, and it's good to know someone like that and be around someone like that to learn what they did to be so successful. And it's a mutual. It's not like it's a one-sided arrangement. I keep him young. I think is the best way to put it. Is that I'm a good hang. We relate, we talk a bit of shit. His company, I use his company for financial services and advice because I trust him. And yeah, I take him to comedy gigs and, we talk a bit of shit and keeps him fresh. He's not around, boring old white men all the day because he's a halfie as well. Like me, he's a half caste. So yeah, we just caught up for steak and dinner and had a good chat, and I took him to a comedy show. in Melbourne, the CBD. It was good. Get out, have a laugh. Had a bit of a chat with him just about where I was. And, the advice he gave me, even though he's so wealthy, is just like, just don't worry. Never worry about the money, mate. Never worry about the money. Which is what I know in my head, because that's literally one of the fundamentals that I fucking teach. But that's fear, man. That is fear. It gets you. It just gets you in these ways. It makes you irrational. It's emotional, not rational. And yeah, this just is a fear of being poor or whatever it is that I'm confronting. This is the battle that I've got right now. But I'm pretty much getting over it now. But yeah, last week I was still feeling a bit fucking lost. And yeah, it was just good to get these gems out of people, right? And even if it is just, sometimes you know the advice that you should be taking, but you need to hear it from somebody else. You need to hear it from the outside world into your brain sometimes. And that's just what it is, right? Is that we have this bias that we're so good at giving out advice to other people, but not good at taking our own for some reason. So sometimes it is just nice to have that thrown back in your face for your sake. So yeah. Those moments, just saying, hey, everything will be fine. You know how to sell, which I do, and everything's working. And then just not to worry about the money, which I'm not. It just gave me relief, right? And over the last few days, and then that, plus on the weekend, really getting obsessive about this community idea, and I'm convinced to it, and I am committed to it. I just need to find the time. I'm really busy this week with work that I need to get done to finish my lecturing series. So, yeah, man, I found a way forward. I'm going to have to pivot, and that's totally fine. I didn't want to just be selling a fucking course all the time. I really was looking forward to building this community more than anything else. The course is there to make me money, but the purposefulness, the drive and the passion is around community and helping people and being of service and being able to find a way to scale out how I can help people. There's actually this, another timely piece of content that showed up on my feed by a great dude whose name is escaping me right now. As I see, I'm not even baked, man. I'm just fucking tired. John Wineland, that's his name. Great dude. Teacher of masculine leadership, consciousness, spirituality, all those practices. And he says you need to, if you want to build abundance and the richness of abundance is feminine, right? The feminine provides, it nourishes. It's what is the giver of the world. The masculine is the consciousness and the direction. I will do this. I will create this, right? This is the sun. It is bright. It is directional. I will do this and I will create this for the people and I will do this with my life and etc. The feminine is the reactionary, the vibrational, it's the curvature. It responds to the straight line or responds to the direction. And Mother Nature, she gives, right? She gives us an abundance with food and water and nature and all the things that we need to survive. But then our egos get in the way of what we think we really need, as opposed to what actually truly serves us, which is the great modern conundrum of today societally. So, to create abundance, he says you must build the temple. You must build the temple of abundance, your meticulousness, your care, your detail to crafting the temple, to crafting the empire, right? The space of which abundance exists, that is up to you to craft that. Your meticulous care and detail to this temple where the abundance can flourish and you can worship at and let the feminine flourish within. That is the secret to it. You have to build, you have to do. And quite simply, I'm not done yet. I've got plenty of work to do before we get there, and that's fine, right? A great analogy for that is like when you the parallel that I got about that actually, because it talks about the feminine, is like when women go to dudes' houses and all they've got is a fucking they have a mattress with no bed frame and they've got a filthy house and they're not well kept. Like, that's gross to a woman. The women like consciousness, detail, order. They like structure in a man. They like a man that knows what he's fucking doing and is strict and disciplined. That's why in kink terms, in dominant submission, to be a good dominant, you need to have structure and implement structure and create this mental space, this space of psychological safety for the feminine to surrender in. And that is done with your care and your detail to create the space that they feel safe to flourish in. And it's the same thing, it's the same parallel. If you clean your fucking house before a woman comes over, you piece of shit, because that's a reflection of who you are and what you stand for, right? Is this, because if a woman is to, if a woman is to say, yeah, I'm going to hitch my cart onto this man, and this man's a fucking slob that doesn't pay attention to himself, and this lack of care and detail to himself and his own life is a reflection of how he will treat his woman, right? Whether we like it or not as men, there's the things of Footscray, the sounds of Footscray, some more sirens. Whether you like it or not, you need to be clear and conscious in all directions in life. Right? And women will pick you up and nag you and challenge you in the places that you are lacking, where you are not in your integrity in all spheres and all dimensions of your life. And that's why they challenge you. It sounds like a nag. It sounds like a nag because the accountability of that feels like an attack when you are not prepared to face the consequences of your actions. Right? So that's what I need to be now. I need to build the temple. It is not done. And that's fine. I didn't think it was done for now. I definitely have a couple of things to do. A sales video, the community, and then just create so much fucking value that I have the power of the people out there exploring, saying, hey, this is cool. Check out these free resources. It's really sweet. That's what I need to do. I can focus on creating something that's so fucking good that people want to come to me with some minimal advertising and some minimal brand exposure. Just like the comedy show, really. I mean, we put $100 of ads or something like that, maybe less per week or per show. And yeah, people just come out of the fucking woodwork. Like last show, Jambo, a lot of fun, full house. Talked about the Algerian chick last time. Yeah, like we had I think out of 30 people that were there, I'm pretty sure almost all of them were new punters. So it's like, word's getting out. Shit's working to get our brand out there, to get our word out there. And I could be wrong, but we're seeming to be minimal exposure. I think we've just got enough word of mouth around, enough exposure in the area for people to come to us. So it's good. It's good stuff. Do I rant? Do I give you one more? Well, I'll give you one more whilst we'll wrap this up. It's just a bit of dirty laundry, but who the fuck's, people aren't going to find this. So, speaking of Footscray Comedy Club, so we run it in an Ethiopian restaurant run by this guy. Well, he used to run it. He was a great dude. He's got a venue. It's got a nice stage. So it's a great space for comedy to be in. We had a great relationship. We'd come in, sales would be consistent, making good money. He bought another restaurant 3 shops up. Also African, also Ethiopian food, but vegan, as opposed to meat. I don't know, he just bought a second restaurant. So then he handed off Jambo, which where we run the show, to a lady. And she has been, to be real, not great at managing the business. And the guy who runs the other restaurant, so he owns both. He's renting it out to this lady, and then he owns the other restaurant. That's where he focuses his time now. He wanted to do stand-up in his restaurant, the second restaurant, and he talked to us about it briefly, but we said no because it's not built for comedy. And there's also too many comedy shows in Footscray. Like there's 5 on the one street. That's way too many shows. And what we do at Footscray Comedy Club is by and far the best comedy show on the street and in Footscray. And the second best show is Pride, which is the one that I set up to begin with and then handed off to Matt. So it's like, we run this fucking town, and the other comedy shows are bullshit open mics, right? But the owner of the restaurant has the fucking balls to get 2 other guys that we know to try and run a gig in the other restaurant, potentially on the same time as Jambo, and then tells them to come to Jambo so he can learn what we do and copy it over there. What a fucking dog, mate. What? Like, what the fuck, man? Hey, this restaurant of yours, you've got this Ethiopian restaurant. What if I just look at exactly, I'm going to walk into your restaurant, I'm going to look at exactly what you do, and I'm going to move next door and do the exact same thing and not involve you in it at all. I'm like, fuck this shit, man. What the fucking deception is this? We've been giving these guys free money, free revenue for 3 years now. And because we know that the scene is saturated and the venue is not suitable for comedy, they think they can undercut us and try and copy the shit that made them free money in the first place? Are you fucking kidding me, mate? You fucking dog? That's very fresh, as you can tell. In the last 36 hours, that shit's happened, and I'm furious. Furious. And so is Sam, right? I'm not the only one. It's just like, are you retarded, right? We're bringing back the hour to 2024. The pendulum's swinging back. Like, and also, like, the two guys that are running the show, one's some Japanese nobody, just like some random Japanese guy, and one's some other fucking shy as fuck Asian dude that we know. And they are dumb enough to think, and they messaged us and go, hey, we're going to come to your gig so we can look at what you do so we can replicate that 3 doors up and compete directly with you. Are you a fucking idiot? The answer is yes. And the reason why they are is because this is why I got out of the comedy scene, because comics are fucking morons, man. Comedians, especially open micers, are dumb as fuck, have no social acuity, no mental understanding. They are just so absorbed in this idea of becoming comics and they in rampant survival mode to do this one thing that they think they're destined for because they're awkward fucking idiots with no other personable skills until they realize they were funny, and then will go all in and not realize how fucking tone deaf it sounds in the pursuit of their own perception of success, right? They are fucking morons. And that's happened time and time again. That's why I got rid of ACN, is that people do not think. They do not collaborate. They are not thinking about win-wins. They're just like, I want to be a comedian at all costs and I'm just going to punch you down. They are fucking dickheads, man. Fucking idiots. To just think, oh yeah, I'm just going to come here and take your shit. Fuck off, moron. Fuck off. Yeah, that's why I got out of comedy, is that I don't need to prove to anyone that I'm funny, and I'm so fucking sick of dealing with these idiots. People are fucking stupid, right? I'm going to end on this note, which is not the best, but again, just speaking of retarded, Rogan put up this funny clip of Osho, and Osho is... Osho was like this spiritual guru who's got some eclectic insights, but is also pretty crazy on the side as well. I'm not going to bother going through his background. But here's this clip where he goes, democracy is for the people, by the people, but the people are retarded. And it's so true. Oh man, like one of the quotes that I think about a lot is that from George Carlin. Just think about how dumb the average person is, and then realize that half of them are dumber than that. One of the great comedic lines in all of history, right, is to just realize there are some fucking morons out there, and the reason why we end up in hierarchical systems is usually by circumstance, right? And I'm not going to go into some weird, dystopian reality. Don't need to. We're already in it. But yeah, Just letting you know how I feel, folks. Just teeing off a little bit, releasing some steam. This is what we meant. This is some, some binge thinking, some binge feeling at this point. And on that dour note, I'm going to leave it there for this week, folks. You know where to find me, at Jamil J. Raymond on all the socials, techsales.academy if you're keen. Yeah, that's it for now. Love yous all. See you next week. Ciao for now.